Rangers' hopes of making an early statement in the summer transfer window have suffered a major blow, with fresh developments casting serious doubt over one of their key targets. What initially appeared to be a promising move has now taken an unwelcome turn, dealing a frustrating setback to new manager Russell Martin as he begins shaping the squad in his image. Having identified several high-priority reinforcements to bolster the team ahead of the new campaign, Rangers were believed to be progressing well in talks for a headline signing. However, a sudden twist has stalled negotiations and raised serious questions over the viability of the deal. For a club looking to bounce back stronger and challenge on all fronts next season, the timing of the blow is far from ideal. Martin, who has just stepped into the Ibrox dugout, was eager to hit the ground running and secure early business to set the tone for his tenure. Instead, he's now facing the reality of a more complex and potentially expensive market than anticipated. With the situation developing quickly behind the scenes, Rangers may now be forced to consider alternative options as they regroup and plot their next move. Let's break it down along with all the other Rangers news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. But first, Felipe Claremore reckons Rangers have 5 current first-team players who they can make big money on. Rangers have been criticised for their player trading model over the years, one of the factors in them falling behind Celtic, who have sold Kieran Tierney, Jota and Matt O'Reilly, among others, for huge sums. It was something Clement bemoaned while manager as the club allowed the likes of Ryan Kent and Alfredo Morelos to see out their deals and move on for nothing, when there may have been chances to cash in earlier. However, the likes of Hamza, Eigerman and Nicholas Raskin have been attracting transfer interest, having shown they can be assets. And the Belgian reckons they're not the only ones, adding Jefte, Clinton Nsiala and Mohamed Diomande to that. He told BBC Sports Scotland, "Nicholas Raskin made a really good evolution. A lot of clubs are interested in him. But you also have Jefte, Hamza Garman, Clinton and Nsiala, who will have a better value. Mohamed Diomande is also one of those guys. The club has worked well the past year in that way. There are now 4 or 5 players with the value to sell, and several teams would pay good amounts of money. The club needs to build with that, or the new owners have to say, we don't do it that way now because we have enough money." Now in a huge transfer blow amid the latest twist, Rangers have been dealt a fresh complication in their pursuit of Israeli striker Dor Turgeman, with Maccabi Tel Aviv reportedly rejecting an initial multi-million-pound bid and demanding a significantly higher fee. New Ibrox boss Russell Martin had been eyeing the 21-year-old as his first major signing. But what initially seemed like a promising move is now turning into a test of Rangers' resolve in the market. Talks have been progressing between the two clubs, with the deal thought to be worth around £4 million. However, Israeli outlet Israel Hayom now claims that Tel Aviv have rebuffed that offer outright. The situation has intensified, with the selling club reportedly holding out for a substantially improved bid, despite the player himself showing a strong desire to join the Scottish Giants. Turgeman, who netted 20 goals across all competitions this season, has caught the eye of the Rangers hierarchy for some time. Club scouts have been tracking the forward closely, having watched him in Europa League action for Maccabi Tel Aviv, as well as during his international outings in March against Estonia and Norway. Impressively, he opened his account for Israel in the match against the Norwegians. Although Martin has only just arrived in Glasgow, it's understood that his predecessor, Felipe Claremore, had also identified Turgeman as a high potential target, further reinforcing the club's belief in his ability. Back in Tel Aviv, preparations for the striker's possible departure are already underway. Local reports suggest the Israeli side has begun exploring potential replacements, signaling they are bracing for an exit, albeit on their terms. Turgeman isn't the only name on Martin's shortlist facing financial barriers. Rangers' reported interest in Flynn Downs has also hit a snag, with the midfielder's current club Southampton, recently relegated from the Premier League, placing a hefty £10 million price tag on his head. As the summer transfer window looms, Rangers now find themselves at a crossroads: push forward with increased offers for top targets, or pivot to alternatives as the market heats up. In other news, Rangers Chief Executive Officer Patrick Stewart has had several discussions with figures at Leeds United. The English Premier League outfit are owned by 49ers Enterprises, who are part of a consortium that recently acquired a 51% stake at Ibrox. Stewart recently brushed aside suggestions that Rangers will be a feeder club to Leeds, although he revealed that he has spoken with people at Ellen Road who are in similar roles to his. He said, "What we tap into is a network of expertise where we can grow together. I've had several discussions with counterparts at Leeds at 49ers Enterprises, just sharing information, but also really importantly, networks, and those networks can be helpful from a technical perspective or from a commercial perspective. We very much see 49ers' role in the consortium as providing that level of expertise that will help fill in some of the gaps we've got, complement what we've got as well, but the strategic significance they can have shouldn't be underestimated." Stewart, alongside sporting director Kevin Thelwell, unveiled Russell Martin as Rangers' new head coach on Thursday. It remains to be seen how much of the £20 million that 49ers Enterprises and co invested the boss will get to spend on new players. "It's very public knowledge about the primary investment coming in," said Stewart. "It's going to be put up for approval on June 23rd at the EGM, and it's going to be approved. So we're in discussions and have been in discussions with new ownership about how best to utilize that investment. Player trading is a key part of the club's model going forward, so a decent portion will be allocated towards player trading, but we're not going to get into specific amounts just now." Finally, Brazil have confirmed Davide Ancelotti will join his father Carlos' coaching staff, just days after he missed out on the Rangers job. The former Real Madrid number 2 was heavily touted to take his first steps into management on his own at Ibrox. However, Rangers opted for Russell Martin, and the Italian has quickly opted to join his father on the bench for Brazil's World Cup qualifier against Paraguay and Sao Paulo on Tuesday, where a win will guarantee them a place at the finals. The Brazilian FA stated, "We are pleased to announce that Davide Ancelotti will arrive in Sao Paulo to join our coaching staff. He will be one of the national team's assistant coaches. He began his career as an assistant in 2015 and has worked for Napoli, Everton, Bayern Munich, and Real Madrid. With a solid academic background in sports science, he has a FIFA Pro license and arrives to contribute to the team's preparation for upcoming international challenges." But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. We post all the latest Rangers news every single day, so make sure you join our fast-growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.